energy forecast for Monday, October 30th. So today we will see the moon move out of this Taurus energy that of course we've been in for the last couple of days as we had the full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus, closing the door on the last 2.5 years of very tough love life lessons. The moon transiting out of this Taurus energy will go void, of course, at 7:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be moving into Gemini energy, locking in at 11:08 a.m. Now, regardless of whether this was a moon event or not, let's just remove that. Let's also remove the fact that we're still very much in eclipse energy. The transition from Taurus energy to Gemini energy always puts a little bit of a pep back in our step. Reason being that Taurus energy is a fixed earth sign. We're very rooted, very heavy, very connected to our physical body, to our physical circumstances. We kind of live in a shell, if you will, trying to stay present in the moment, be very in tune with what it is that our body wants, needs, and desires from us. We move into Gemini energy, which is an air energy. It rules over the mental plane, which brings us out of our physical body and puts us more in a state of curiosity, of communication, of looking at the outside external realm for stimulation. So we kind of crack out of the, let's call it, earth shell, and we move into the mental plane where we really start kind of taking a look around, if you will, socializing a little bit more, asking the right kinds of questions, seeking a lot of truth. Again, we're still in Scorpio season, so peeling back the hidden layers, if you will, is absolutely essential. And the moon in Gemini is definitely going to put us in a situation where we kind of have to pursue what it is that our curiosity needs us to uncover, needs us to unearth. So Mondays are ruled over by the moon. It means that, we're in for a emotional shift, a transformative shift in our emotional realm. And there are 6 different aspects here today. All 6 of them actually involve the moon, which means that this is officially a moon day Monday. So definitely pay attention to your inner realm. While the moon is still very much in Taurus energy, we're going to have an interaction with the North Node in Aries energy. That North Node in Aries is our soul path, our destiny point. It's the path that we have to get on in order to align with a new truth, a new mission, a new quest, new direction, new purpose. This is a good interaction, which means that there has been some sort of revelation, realization, epiphany, aha moment on where it is that we want to go from here. Now, the Taurus energy that we've been sitting in with the moon in Taurus has us very grounded, very rooted in the present moment. We are taking stock of our physical lives, so to speak. And from that, and especially under the full moon and the lunar eclipse energy, we should have realized where it is that we're bored, unhappy, discontent, discombobulated, and what it is that we need to change in our physical lives in order to kind of rectify those particular awarenesses. So that is the realization, either what it is that we have to move away from, what it is that we have a desire to move closer to, whichever way it's unfolding, there is a little bit of an aha moment on the direction, the path that we have to take in order to get away from this particular circumstance that obviously isn't sitting so well for us in these present moments. Now, the moon in Taurus is going to go ahead and sextile, beautiful interaction with Neptune. Neptune is retrograde in his place of power. He rules over our spirituality, our dreams, our creativity. He's retrograde in Pisces, pushing us to kind of confront some of the tough love life lessons and issues and circumstances that, typically speaking, if Neptune was direct, we would be running away from. We would be avoiding. We would be burying our head in the sand and just pretending that, of course, they were not in existence. But we can't do that anymore. We have to clean this particular energy up. We are moving out of old karmic chapters and cycles. We're moving into new ones. And the debris, the loose ends, absolutely need to be cleaned up, tied up, resolved before we can actually move on. I love this interaction for a couple of reasons. First of all, I really, really enjoy Pisces energy and Taurus energy interacting with each other, because the Pisces energy allows us to kind of align with our higher self, download a vision, a dream, a goal, if you will. We get glimpses and visions of what it is that our higher self wants us to pursue. And then the Taurus energy, being a fixed earth sign, is how we bring it into form, how we kind of create something new out of the downloads in which we're receiving. It is very much the energy that inspires us, motivates us to make a change, to align ourselves with this new vision, goal, and dream, and actually get to manifesting. The moon in Taurus is going to trine, beautiful interaction, with Pluto, the great transformer himself, who is now direct in Capricorn energy. What I love about this is that, first of all, it's Earth on Earth, Taurus energy, Capricorn energy, both Earth signs. The second thing that I love about it is that a trine is a gentle nudge in the right direction. We're harmonizing energies together in order to realize where a change, where a transformation is needed. And thirdly, there's a lot of, I'm going to say, calculated intention that comes with these particular types of interactions. It means that we're a little bit more deliberate with our thinking, with our affections, with our conversations, with our actions. It also means that we're a little bit more decisive. And because, again, there's a lot of different swirling energies right now, a lot of confusion, a lot of choice points, decision is the name of the game that we're trying to kind of get to here. It's been a very long time being on the fence, torn between two very different, extreme, polarized situations, circumstances, choices, path, direction, decisions. So this is like I'm going to say, a gentle nudge to see where it is that we're now being inspired, now being kind of motivated to make a decision, to align with a choice point, to be very intentional with the inner work that is needed in order for us to arrive at what it is that we now want to do with our lives. Again, we're moving into a chapter that requires us to be stepping into the power of the creator energy. So this is kind of like an aha moment on where it is that this particular chapter is about to begin. It's at this particular point in time that the moon is going to go void of course. And again, we're going to go void of course, 7:35 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're locking into Gemini energy, 11:08 a.m. 12:04 p.m. we have the moon in Gemini making its very first interaction, and it's not the greatest one. It's a square. We're getting into the boxing ring. We're fighting it out with who? Our opponent is Saturn, Mr. Karma himself. So obviously this isn't going to feel good. Mr. Saturn, he rules over karma, roles, responsibilities, structures, and foundations. He's retrograde in this Pisces energy, helping us to deconstruct the old version of self, the old belief system, the old realm and reality that particular version of self has created. And in a negative aspect, which a square is, we get a little bit of a harsh reality check. Now, because the moon in Gemini is looking outside of ourselves in order to be kind of stimulated, entertained, if you will, we need to kind of go out and see the lay of the land. We're very curious on what we may have missed, what's going on, what we should do about it. This particular tension point, this conflict point, is really going to illuminate where it is that we're having a little bit of a negative disposition with our thoughts, with our emotions. Again, a harsh reality check comes when Mr. Saturn is kind of aspected in a not nice way. So we're going to feel the weight of our world on our shoulders. We're going to feel the heaviness of the collective on our shoulders as well. We're understanding where doors are closing, where it is that we've outgrown certain topics, themes, soul contracts, timelines. And for the most part, it isn't really feeling celebratory. It's feeling kind of defeated. And this particular energy is here to kind of open up our minds and our heart spaces to the choices that we now have before us. But of course, the Gemini energy represents the twins, so there is very dualistic and polarized options, choices, directions, paths available to us. But we have to get real and raw and vulnerable with ourselves and kind of understand that Mr. Saturn's giving us a tough love life lesson here in choice. Are we going to evolve? Are we going to revolve? So the moon in Gemini is then going to make another not so nice aspect, this time with Chiron, the wounded healer, who is retrograde in Aries energy, really helping us to kind of attack the areas within us that are causing blockages, that are creating obstacles that don't need to be there, with the way that we're thinking, the way that we're feeling, but mostly the way that we're perceiving ourselves. This is identity issues. This is dealing with imposter syndrome. This is realizing what parts of us need to be left behind because they're no longer supporting the vision, the goal, the dream, the vibration, the frequency of where it is that we're currently standing. And in that realization, we're kind of, stirring up a lot of fear, doubt, and insecurity about what is to come. So this is going to illuminate for us where we know we have to grow, where we know we have to improve, where we know we have to do better, where we know we're on the cusp, the precipice of making some major life decisions and major changes and transformations, especially where this new version of self is concerned. But we're kind of justifying and making excuses right now on why we aren't ready, why we're not well equipped, why we're not well prepared. And we're really going to kind of see a little bit of a spiral, if you will, in our inner dialogue and in our emotional realm. Now, the last thing that we have going on here today is a favorable aspect, thank goodness. And this is between the moon and Gemini making a positive interaction with Neptune, who of course is retrograde in Pisces energy. So I love this because Gemini energy has the curiosity kind of, stewing and brewing within us. And that Neptune retrograde and Pisces energy is allowing us to shift into la la land, to align with our higher self, to kind of refresh, renew, rejuvenate our spiritual practice, our spiritual awareness, our, I'm going to say, ability to trust the greater, grander cosmos. And of course, this is a refreshing type of energy in which we need. But even more than that, the Neptune retrograde and Pisces energy is very creative, very imaginative, very visionary when we allow ourselves to kind of, go to that space on what it is that we want to conjure up for ourselves. And the beautiful thing is that the emotional and mental curiosity coming from Gemini energy is pushing the boundaries of asking ourselves what it is that we want, what does that look like, who's going to be with us in that particular version that we're trying to manifest, what is the goal, what is the dream. And so we're asking the right questions, and if we're able to quiet the mental plane after asking those questions, we can tap into our higher selves, into our intuition, and kind of gain a little bit of insight on what some of those answers actually may be.